Hi everyone, it's Andy from Hobby Headquarters. Today we are going to have another update video on the tank factory that I'm working on. I want to share with you some of the things that I've been doing over the last couple of days. So, let's get started. Let's jump right into the update on here. Now, what I've done here is I've gone ahead and set up all 9 of the base plates that make up this giant diorama base, and you'll see them right here. I'm going to pan down a little bit here, and in the front of the diorama, all of this area in here is cobblestone. This is the street. This is the sidewalk area right here. You can see there's a little step up on it. And then it goes right into our little corner of the factory. Now, I've set the buildings up, as you see right here. I'm going to pan up just a little bit more. I've set the buildings up based on the way that they kind of set up the diorama, and then also changing it a little bit to add the office over in the corner over there, which you can see I've started painting. I'm going to show you that a little bit more in depth, as well as the smokestack in a minute here. But this is just to give you a general overlay idea of what we're talking about. Now, of course, we can do some changing on it here. We could always move the big tall building and the office more towards the side. And put some kind of rail yard over on the edge over here. So there's all different types of things. But I do kind of like this setup having a little bit of an office on the side there, because it opens up all of this area. That can be more of the central focus point, either on a tank or trucks unloading, whatever it's going to be in there. We have a big open area to display some vehicles, figures, etc., things like that. So I'm kind of liking it. This is not set in stone. This is just me throwing this stuff out here, taking a look at it and seeing how it's going to possibly look. There is room on the right of the diorama here that we can do possibly the rail yard, because I can just add it right in and maybe do a flip-flop where the train comes through the middle here, has the end spur with like a bumper on it, and then like the loading on the other side. All different types of things we can do. I do definitely have to get this base glued onto a block of wood, or a piece of wood, I should say, not a block of wood, a piece of wood, and then I can start weathering and painting that, and then see how I can lead that into the train area. Because obviously we want to match this kind of ceramic work over onto the new area as well. But it's looking pretty cool, I think, right now. Just even set up like this, it is a really, really detailed diorama. And the best part of all is, as I build these buildings, there are more and more architectural details inside that I didn't know about, that I'm going to show you in just a couple seconds here, that really make the building pop. So let's take a look at those right now. Now you are taking a look at the back of the little office building here, and I wanted to show you just some of the detail that's in here. The roofs obviously are not painted yet, but there's even little trusses inside here, the floor, as well as all the beams inside the building. That's just really great, that if you're going to look through the window, you're going to be able to see all that detail. And we can even put some office furniture up inside here and be able to look through that window and see all of that stuff. Now, we'll turn this around here, let you see the front, and maybe you can even see part of that floor and beam through there that I was talking about. And we also have our metal door that we will put on the front, just like that. And then, of course, we'll paint these up kind of the grayish color that we did on the other big building. But I think it's looking pretty good that way. I'm still doing weathering and painting on the front of this, but wanted to just take a little break and jump in and show you guys what it looks like up to this point. Now let's take a look at the big monster building in the back, and I want to show you some of the detail that's on that. And here is the rough side of the inside of the building. I've done no fixing or detailing, just glued the buildings together, or the walls together. These I just placed in here just to show you that windows go. But I did assemble the roof truss. And as you can see right here, it's pretty pretty amazing looking right here. The best part of all, there's only 4 parts to this. This whole section right here was cut all as one big piece, and then it'll get placed right up in top here. But this is something I didn't realize that was in there, and it's these columns here. These columns, there's 4 of them in there. They are going to get mounted on the inside of the building here, and you can, I believe, we'll probably do it this way. But these are the actual columns that will be carrying the roof truss. So when we put this up here, they will get mounted in like that. There'll be 4, 1 in each corner, and just little things like that. Well, normally you wouldn't see the inside of a building because it's all sealed up, but now you can leave the doors open, you can leave the windows with just the glass there, and once we paint it and put any other type of detailing inside, you have all of these columns holding up that roof support. Just little things like that. I thought that was really, really cool the way they did something like that. And it's just going to be that much more detail into this diorama that we can just keep adding and adding and adding to. Now I am showing you the smokestack, and I'm very, very happy with the way this turned out. I weathered and dirtied this up much, much more than I did any of the other buildings like this and through here. And that is because this is supposed to be probably like an oil or coal fire chimney. And between in here with all the soot marks coming up, as well as on the top that I'll show you in a minute, I just pictured something that was going to be a lot grimier and dirtier. You know, the smoke comes out, gets on top there, the rain comes and washes this soot and stuff down the side of the thing. And I'm still touching up here and there, but I want to give you just a general idea. We're going to loosen up this thing, and we're going to pull back or actually go up and let you see all the way up the line here on the smokestack. In fact, it goes all the way up even past my white board there. And hopefully you can see all of the soot and stuff that's built up on it. None of this stuff is attached yet. All of these pieces are still separate, and that is, I shouldn't say that. The tower, this thing, is separate from the base down there. All of these 3 are attached, and that is strictly because I would knock it over and completely destroy it if I didn't. But this sits so far inside of here, there's very little chance, unless you really cracked it good, that it's going to fall over. And this thing weighs a lot. This is solid ceramic, so it holds up with a lot of weight to it there. But I think that is coming out really good. We're going to start to build up some of the piping. And since we're talking about putting in the steam pipes, I wanted to show you these. These are the metal poles that I'm going to be using throughout the factory. These metal poles are laser cut wood that you assemble. It's a very simple kit. In fact, I'll show you this one right here. These are the number of parts that will go inside here. But these are going to be very, very nice because these hold all of like the steam pipes and any other type of big equipment like that off the ground. So you can imagine that, you know, trucks can drive underneath it, but this will keep all that stuff up in the air. And I've gone ahead and assembled one. And inside, this is really cool. They've got these extra laser cut pieces that make up all of the bolt pattern on here. So without it, you would just have this bare wood, but with it you have this bolt pattern that looks like the thing has actually been bolted together properly. And as you can see right here, each bolt lines up with each one of those other pieces. So just a little bit of detail. So you imagine it along the side here, and then imagine I'm testing out some sizes. This is just a piece of round stock. But if you can imagine it holding up there, there'll be some kind of bracket up on top of there as well that'll hold it. But just keeping all of the pipes above ground, and imagine guys or trucks or whatever driving underneath it there. So these are some super, super great things. I only have a pair. I should have gotten more, and actually I'm going to get some more because I know I'm going to need them, having all the stuff going across the construction yard here. Okay, here's everything once again in its rough position, including the partially painted fences, the roof panels are all on, everything's in the general area that it would be. Now, I'm loving the fact that we have that big courtyard there. I think that adds a lot of cool things that we can do in there, whether it be trucks unloading or, if it's going to be a factory making parts. I know a lot of you have requested that. Hey, maybe we just make, this factory just makes wheels for Panzer IIIs, or this portion of the factory. We've got to remember, this could just be just one little corner of this giant block that makes up this factory, clearly because part of this building is cut off right here. So in theory, it should keep going on as well as this one. So, or it could be making Stug 3s, all kinds of different things. But I love the courtyard and the ability to open up this front door, especially with all of the trusses inside. With the trusses inside, we can open up, show the detail, and maybe even show like a tank being fixed. That was another idea that a lot of you guys have floated by too, about a repair factory, basically where you take shot up old tanks. They brought them back just to fix them all up. Now off to the right here, I still might be able to buy some more plates like this, and if we can extend this out one more section wider, which will give us like another 8 inches on the outside of there, which would be perfect for putting the rail spur with the little platform for unloading whatever we're doing, tanks, parts, whatever it is on it there. But now that you see it in its general form and how big it is, I mean, you can see my hand in the way, how big this diorama is going to be. Please, I love the ideas. I love reading all the ideas and thinking about what you guys are coming up with. Sometimes you look at something and you don't see the forest through the trees, so to speak. You want to, sometimes just a great ideas out there that I've just overlooked. But please go ahead and tell me if there's anything else you think we should add, or if we should even change this up. I mean, there's only so many things we can do because of the shape of the buildings, but I'm really liking the way this is turning out, just the way it is here. So my next step is I'm going to obviously start painting the fences a little bit more, but my biggest one is going to be to start working on the center building and start painting that. Painting the brick is very time consuming. Even with the sponge technique, you got to keep going over it and over it. And I want these buildings to look old and aged. I don't want this to be like a brand new brick factory. This is supposed to be in the early 1940s, and I want to make it look like this building was built, maybe 40, 50 years earlier than that. So we want to have that patina on the bricks and the wear and tear. In fact, I'm probably even going to weather these down a little bit more. This one came out a little bit darker, as well as the Smokestack, but I'm kind of liking the little bit more wear on the brick, and so I might just tone it down just a touch. And as I've been doing it, I've been obviously trying to tone down the bottom with a little bit darker, more dirt. So like down in here, you can't see the grout as much, or the mortar, I should say, on this as much. It's not as white because you think over the years the dirt that's accumulated on it and just makes a mess out of things as the rain comes down and the mud, all that kind of stuff. So that's my thought process as I do that. And then of course, like I was telling you, we've got the poles here, so we can start adding some steam piping. It does come with some big steam pipes that would, these are not fitted, I shoved those in there a little while ago. Some big steam pipes that would go into the boiler over there and then plow into one of the walls. I think it's probably even designed, maybe that's probably why it had a solid wall on this side, because it was designed if you wanted to put the steam pipe going from here into the portion of the factory. But since I put the glass windows on the other side there, kind of eliminates that, but they might be able to put it in a little bit further back even, something like that. It doesn't even have to have these on. We can do smaller versions of it. So all different ways we can do. Oh, and another thing too, this piece here. So the little warehouse, or the little office I should say, this is the back panel that would fit right in here. So I probably will put this in here, because if we look through the window, you'll be able to see a window right here that would in theory look into the warehouse or the factory section in here. And little option, the boss is able to look down into the factory floor, keep an eye on things. So definitely going to add that in there, and of course we can paint that up to whatever color we want. I think that'll be a nice little detail. So as you can see, I am definitely working on this quite a bit. It's took about 4 hours just to paint that smokestack, and I'm not even truly 100% done. Got to do a little bit more weathering on it, and then of course start working on all these other buildings. So please go ahead, leave comments down below. I'm really interested to hear what you have to say, and then about adding on that rail yard. We'll see what we can do about getting more base plates to extend it out even further. So there you go, guys. There is a quick look at the factory and how it's coming together. I hope you enjoyed the video. I enjoy explaining what I'm planning and what my thought process is as I assemble each one of these buildings, kind of share it with you guys. So I want to take this opportunity to thank you as always for watching, and please stay tuned because I have many more videos coming.